just amazing. So, all right. So to trip the system, you know, with the low pressure dries, we're just going to trip it here, and you know, we trip it. That's the nice thing about good water pressure like you guys got here. It makes big bangs. And that milking machine that's going on now after the system trip, that's actually the air in the water. You know, you've got air pressure on one side of the actuator diaphragm, water pressure pushing on the other side. Right now they're fighting. All right? We'll shut the water supply pressure off and the depressure this. And the milking machine goes away. Okay? I can open up the main drain here and we'll just let the system drain down.
So the actuator.
So, totally mechanical systems, right? Wets and dries. You go into the pre-actions, and you guys see probably not a lot of pre-actions. There's a few out there. Few. So you understand, you know, the biggest difference between like your dry and your pre-action is you've got that supplemental detection system, all right? And that's true for singles and double interlocks, all right? And when you start looking at that single and double interlock pre-action, you know, one's good, two's better, right?
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do, trying to achieve.
It depends, you know, and you can put them wherever. Typically, you'll see your double interlocks anymore in freezers, data centers, computer rooms, things like that, just because of the paranoia. It seems like I don't want water on, you know, the computer guys. They don't want water on computers or phone equipment or anything like that. But in reality, you know, one is slow, right, compared to a wet system, and two is slower, right? And when you're looking at pre-actions, you've got detection, because you're not just going to trip with only a sprinkler operating. So you've got sprinklers and a detection system. And depending on which you have, the single or double, it's not, you know, either the end result is both detection and sprinklers have to be actively operating at the same time. They don't have to go at the same time, but they have to be actively operating at the same time before you're going to discharge water, right? The difference between the single and double is when is the valve tripping, okay? Double interlock won't trip until both the detection and the sprinkler have operated actively and are actively operating at the same time. Single interlock trips only when the detection goes, all right? Won't trip when only the sprinkler goes, all right? So that's that air in your single interlock pre-action is just there to monitor the integrity of this system piping. The only way this single interlock is going to trip is with the detection. So a single interlock will only trip with the detection. Oops. Hey. Check valve on the drain cup is mistaken.
Alarm, we have alarm.
The head hasn't gone.
Yep.
Right, so you got water in the pipe now, it's basically right.
So basically, you know, the single interlock is the true pre-action system because it trips, you know, it basically pre-acts versus it pre-acts versus reacts to sprinkler operating, right? So it basically takes, you know, a dry system turns it into a wet system before the sprinkler operates. So from a design standpoint, you've got some really good advantages because you don't have a 30% design area penalty for your hydraulic calculations, no water delivery time requirements, no air fill time requirements, things like that. So pretty good advantages, right? But, you know, maybe isn't the ideal situation, so you go to a double interlock because a lot of people think that, well, single, double's got to be twice as good as a single, right?
Well, it's like in a parking garage, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, some drunk guy comes in and knocks off the drum drip.
Yeah.
That's going to fill a system, or no?
Dry system will fill a system.
Right.
Because you lose air pressure. Single interlock or double interlock pre-action, you're going to get a low air one.
Well, like in Vail though, you wouldn't want a heat to go off and flood the system in the wintertime because then you'd freeze.
Yeah.
So that's why they have double interlock
yep,
there.
yep.
And there's 9 those in that one facility.
Is there?
Yeah, we got that particular garage has got 9 double interlock systems.
Yep. And the scenario I like to use is a storage building with in-racks, you know, rack storage with in-rack sprinklers. Because you put sprinklers and piping inside a rack, and what does it turn into?
Yeah.
A sprinkler or a forklift magnet.
Right.
Okay. So back in the old days, you used a differential drive valve, put your in-rack sprinklers in, guy takes out an in-rack sprinkler pipe, loses air pressure, trips the system.
Call flash sprinkler guy, come fix it.
Yep. So it's great service work, right? Maybe not for the guy that's got to go into that freezer or whatever, but you know, for the guy that wrote it up, wrote up the work order, you know, it's great work. So, you know, single interlocks came about, took away that problem. Okay, well now, guy can take out the sprinkler pipe in the racks, lose air pressure, just get a warning shot. Shoot, we don't have to worry about flooding water. So the next time he does it, takes out the linear detection in the racks. It's going right parallel to the piping. Well,
Now we got
dang it! Now what do we do? You know. So go to double interlock pre-actions. And that's honestly the you know, you'll see that more often in freezers or the data centers now, or parking garages are even doing it for the same reason. So. But we've got 3 different double interlock pre-action systems that we do, all right? And the most popular one we sell is what we call our Type D trim, or Type D double interlock trim. And if you look at our single interlock trim, which everything in the trailer for our pre-actions except the middle system there is electrically actuated. So we have electric solenoid valve with a releasing pin, okay? And if you look at the trim on this actuation here, we've got the solenoid valve, and when that solenoid valve opens, releasing the water pressure in the push rod chamber, all right, allowing the valve to trip, that solenoid valve dumps right into the drain, all right? Single interlock. We come back here to the double interlock, this Type D trim. We've got that solenoid valve back here. It's just not stainless steel, all right? So it's not the Super Sport model now, but that solenoid valve dumps right into the drain. So the actuation with this Type D trim is exactly the same as a single interlock trim. So, how do you do that? Well, it's total electric actuation, all right? So it's all done with the programming in the releasing panel. What are we telling the releasing panel to do, basically, all right? And the programming is easy because we use powder panels if you buy them from us. And they're all pre-programmed. It's just a matter of your choices on what you want the system to do is the program you pick for that, all right? So, single zone detection talks to the releasing panel talks to the solenoid valve and energizes the solenoid valve, right? Well, when we go to a double interlock reaction back here with this Type D trim, even though the actuation trims are the same, the programs are different in the releasing panel. So we have our heat detector up here, and if we'll set that guy off, and we go into alarm, but instead of tripping it like it did with the single interlock system, we've got a different program in there that's sitting there, went on alert now. It says, okay, heat detection is going off. You know, everybody's mad because they got to grab their coffee cups and get out of the building because there's a fire alarm, all right? But the system didn't trip yet because our second interlock now from detection is going, but our sprinkler hasn't operated yet. So once we have that sprinkler operate, we lose air pressure, which is a total mechanical event, all right?
Now it's sitting in just a standard dry valve situation.
Yep. Basically, it's just a dry valve now, all right? So, but to open this solenoid valve, we need an electric signal, all right? So this Type D trim is electric, all right? Detection up here. And it's actually pneumatic, all right? So a sprinkler operates, we lose air pressure, pneumatic event, and we turn that pneumatic event into an electric signal with the low air supervisory switch. Okay, so we basically have 2 electric signals going into the releasing panel for our interlocks. All right, so when we lose enough air pressure here, and the switch closes, energizes the solenoid. It is cool. It's part of the fun part.
Not much moving, and it still shakes the whole trailer.
Yeah.
I know, that's cool.
So, you know, you've got your electric detection, sprinkler operates, we turn that sprinkler operation, which is mechanical, into an electric signal, so it's an electric / pneumatic dash electric, all right? Actuation. We actually just say, if you look at any of our literature on this Type D system, we do the Reader's Digest version, so we just say electric, because in reality, it's 2 electric interlocks that are cross-zoned in that panel that open up that solenoid valve and trip the valve.
On these systems, and this is probably something that I already should know, but in a power failure, because of the electronic stuff, do the batteries in those panels back up all those heat detectors in a system?
For the yes,
Because obviously, if you have a complete power loss, the heat detectors wouldn't work. They wouldn't send the electronic signal, but if in a power failure, those batteries will still allow the entire system to operate, or is it just batteries for the panel?
no, they would run basically. You know, your detection system that is operating. You know, if you're covering, you know, let's say 10 rooms, for example, right? With this pre-action system, you're going to have detectors in each of those. Every place you've got sprinklers, okay?
Right.
All right. All those detectors are going to go into this panel.
Right.
Okay. So when he does, or whoever does the, you know, basically, you know, just like you have to do your hydraulic calculations for your sprinkler system, for your pipe sizes and whatever, you've got to do a battery calculation too. Basically, you've got to add up everything that's going to be drawing a load, putting a load on your batteries, and you size your batteries according to that.
Gotcha.
Okay. And there's honestly two, you
I
know,
was thinking that's
Yeah.
how it worked, but
NFPA and UL require only 24 hours of battery backup. Right? And that's what, these batteries are very skinny, and that's what these are just the standard. They're just lighter. You know, if you go do an FM Global job, for example, you require 72 hours of battery backup.
Yeah,
Right.
6 car
you go
batteries.
into some of
Well, they're just they're about double the thickness, so they're much bigger battery, much heavier.
Deep cycle.
Yeah. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, it does.
so you lose AC power, and this one is that one's tripped. But if we lose AC power on this, you know, your batteries are going to kick in,
and
that's
then
gonna.
that will still allow your heats to activate your system.
Yep.
Yeah.
And right now it's just beeping. It says AC trouble.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
When the power comes back on, it goes away. That resets itself. Okay. So, but good question, and to kind of go farther from your question there, you know, with these electrically actuated systems, and it's not just reliable systems. Ours are the most reliable, by the way. But
Oh,
Hence the name.
yeah.
play on words.
Yeah. But in any electrically actuated system, if you have loss of AC power, and you have a catastrophic loss where your batteries run out, it's not going to trip.
Right.
You'd only be able to do it manually, and all our systems have that manual hydraulic release, okay? So they're not a totally fail-safe system.
Sure.
Right? So you know, like if there's an
At
electric
that
cell-
point, it would all depend on your battery life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, there's a lot of jurisdictions in the country, not a lot. There's a few, I should say that, and they're getting to be fewer. But there's some jurisdictions that, no, you're putting a double interlock pre-action in there. It's got to be a totally fail-safe system. Because what if we lose power? Well, then you got the battery backups. You know?
Except for the air compressor
Well,
is gonna.
But
yeah,
again,
power.
yeah.
That's gonna.
that's why you want a tank-mounted compressor versus a riser mount, so you've got a little bit of air reserve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, with the double interlock, it won't trip even with the loss of air until. the
But
heat
then it won't
goes
trip
off.
at all. If you don't lose
Yeah, if
power.
you've got electric actuation, you know.
Yeah, you
um,
won't get anything.
So, you know,
You're talking about a power failure, dead batteries,
yes.
no
Right.
compressor. You're talking worst case scenario.
Yep.
That's what he said.
Right. And it could happen because, you know, that's how accidents happen. You know,
Absolutely.
it
Well, we
happens
live
in
and
the
work
worst
every
time.
day in the worst case scenario business.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But you know, my argument to the fire marshals, and I personally have converted one fire department. It's just like, well, okay, I can see your point. Because you know, you go in there and say, you lose basic power, right? If you're paranoid about it, go with require the 72-hour battery backup. All right, you're gonna get 3 days plus.
What if?
So,
Well, this is going
and if you go
outside the
more
box.
than that,
Paying attention.
you got bigger problems.
Right.
See, and I'm on the job.
What would happen if the manual pull station on the trim there?
Yep.
What would happen if there was a code where you have your FTC and your light and horn that are located outside? That if there was some sort of manual pull station outside the building, you know, where you could pull that and trip the system. Obviously, you'd have to have some sort of security on it, but
Yeah.
you couldn't have some hoodlum go by on a skateboard and just pull the lever. But
So in other words, when California falls off into the ocean,